Welcome back to the Shining in Korea kitchen.
Peach edition.
So, side note to start off with kind of a funny story. I have, for quite a while, been trying to explain to our Korean friends the concept of ugly fruit. For people who may not have seen it, when we grew up, when you went to the grocery store, there was the regular shelf full of fruit, and then sometimes there was a shelf in the back or a little aisle thing that had odd-shaped fruit or fruit with little blemishes on it. That's right, May May.
May May is offended by these fruits.
So for those of you who are a little more budget conscious, the ugly fruit, while perfectly serviceable, was generally about half price or so.
And just ugly.
Or 25% off, or whatever the store was doing. But I mean, honestly, it all winds up in the same place in the same color, so. But for making stuff like we do, ugly fruit is a wonderful thing because it costs less. So it doesn't cost us as much to make stuff. Trying to explain the concept of ugly fruit to Koreans was like banging my head against a wall.
My personal opinion, I think you might have been speaking to the wrong Koreans.
It's possible.
Because I have met two. One who bought us this nice box of ugly fruit. Thank you, Morgan. And another who has promised us potentially some future ugly fruit from her mother's farm.
Right.
So.
But to your average Korean, you tell them, oh, well, it's the ugly fruit that's not as pretty as the rest of it, so they sell it cheaper. And most Koreans go, well, if it's ugly, nobody's going to buy it, so they probably don't sell it. But we finally found somebody who, A, understood the concept, and B, could get us some.
Got it for us, yeah. Thank you, Morgan. This was awesome.
We weren't exactly ready for it, but hey, it's here, so we're going to deal with it.
We are so ready for it.
We are so going to deal with it. So, we have a box of Korean peaches. We didn't know if that was enough, so we stopped by the store, and they had some little packs of, you will notice immediately,
the difference in color and shape.
the size differential in these peaches. These are different breeds of peaches. But they're both Korean peaches, and we're going to offset. Other stuff to go along with this, we have
Sweet white peach.
Korean peach juice.
Your choice for your family has always been good. With Gaia Farm, it becomes the best.
Yes.
Yes.
And then we found some of this stuff, which apparently is a
peach concentrate.
Peach concentrate.
By Samsung.
Which is very peach. We tasted it. Very peach.
So the goal with this part is, because we know that a lot of our flavor is going to come through from our thump keg, is to load what's going into the thump keg with super peach.
Super peach.
If you super peach it, then more flavor should come through.
That's the idea. That's what we're going with.
That's the game plan. So we're going to do that, but we're also going to freeze some of these peaches to go into the thump keg when we're ready for that, because freezing them will pull in a lot more of the sweetness and supercharge those peaches.
Well, if you want to be technical, the expansion caused by the liquid freezing rupture cell walls makes it easier for to get all the sugar and everything out of it, blah, blah, blah.
That kind of sciencey stuff.
Sciencey crap.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what we've got to do first is we are going to peel peaches.
And pit them.
Pit them.
Chop them.
Run them through the frappator until we get fruit goo and...
Very technical term.
Yes, fruit goo, very technical. And then we'll be back.
Yeah.
And here's the fun parts of trying to moonshine in a small kitchen. But we got frappe going on. See, there's our peach puree that we're making. So, and then we got the leftover peachy water that had the citric acid in it that I am going to use to make the inverted sugar so that I don't have to throw anything out.
I'm going to wash off the blade in there.
So, that's what we're doing. All right, so I'm back. Melissa had to go do some stuff for some people, some things. So it's just me for now. So we are into the process. Let me tighten up my bag here. Let me move my stuff around. Okay, so we have bucket. And as you can see, it's got these little blue things. These are actually sous vide magnets. They go to our little kit for doing that stuff. So I think they're neodymium magnets. They're kind of strong, but not super strong, which is good because you can actually pull them apart. All this has been sprayed with some sanitizer. So what we are going to do, we got the bucket and bag here. We are going to throw the fruit into the bag because it makes for easier cleanup on the back end. Where's my spatula? That'll work. Get all that peachy goodness. Oh, there's the spatula. It's in the other bowl. My brain are working real good today. All right, so there's the rest of that. So by the way, those second kind of peaches, also pretty good, fairly ripe. Not as sweet as the white peaches, so I think this will be a good mix. It won't be too sweet, but it won't also be too not sweet, if that makes any sense. All right, do I got anything else I got to put in here? Oh yes, I've got stuff I've got to put in there. Let me set those there. Where did I put my stuff? So, I forgot some of my stuff. I'll be right back. All right, I are back. So, we have two things we're putting in this at the moment because this is real fruit in here. The first thing, we're going to put in some pectic enzyme because we want to break that fruit, what's left of that fruit after we frappéed it down, because we want all the juice, all the sugar, all the flavor. So this is a half teaspoon per gallon. It's about a gallon. So I'm going to overdo it a little bit because that's what I do. And I'm going to do about 3/4 of a teaspoon. Put that in there. And then the more important of the two at the moment, Campden tablets. Campden tablets kill any wild yeast or bacteria or any other random little buggy bugs that might be on or in the fruit. So I'm gonna grab 2 of these. I think they say it's like 1 per gallon. So once I add the stuff to it, we ought to be somewhere in that range. I'll grab a couple spoons and crush these. Fortunately, they crush pretty easily. All right, get that stuff in there. If you get it in your hands, wash your hands with soap and water. Don't be that guy. Campden tablets have been added. Pectic enzyme has been added. So next thing we're going to do is add our fruit juice. This is the fun, easy part. Just pour it in. And I'm pouring it in through the bag to try and partially stir the mash. That, and also to make sure that the liquid gets mixed in with the Campden tablets. All right, so for anybody who's counting, that is 1.5 gallons of sweet white peach juice from Korea. And we got this peach concentrate that Melissa wants to put in there. And because I'm pretty sure it's got sugar in it anyway, it's gonna ferment. So that puts us about 2.5 gallons. And now we got sugar water. So we did a starting gravity on the peach juice to see what it starts at, and it starts at about 1.04, which is not bad, not as much as apple juice, but it's got some sugar to it naturally already, but that's not enough. We want some alcohol. So sugar water it be. So we've added, what was this? So we've added about 8 pounds of sugar to about 1 gallon of water. And as usual, we filled up the bucket. I didn't mean to make quite that much. I was trying to make a 3-gallon run. Oh, we got leftover sugar at the bottom. Can't have that. All right, so we fixed that problem. We got a little bit of hot water in there mixed up with the rest of that sugar, and we now have a bucket full of stuff. Oh, crap, what did I do? I think I knocked off one of the magnets. All right. So what I'm going to do with this to try and help keep this under the liquid is I'm going to put a magnet here. And we're going to try and push it down, keep it flat against the side of the container. There we go. And I'm going to move these down incrementally. Ah, this is not working real well for me. Let me fix this. Okay, so I got everything in there. So one thing I am going to do, because this is more than the 3 gallons that I initially planned to have, I am going to pop a couple more Campden tablets in it. Also because I had to stick my arm in there to find the magnet. Come on, get out of there. So again, always safety first. sanitize everything. There we go. And yes, sticking my arm in there was not probably the best idea, but I had to find the magnet. I actually had to find another magnet because them being neodymium magnets, when it popped off the side over here, it wound up attached to the one on the other side because it went toward the nearest magnet. So there we go. We got some extra Camden tablets in there. That should hopefully make sure everything is hunky-dory. That will need to set for about 24 to 36 hours. That's fine, we'll do with that. Now that I've added the sugar, let's see what our starting gravity is. Oh, that's gonna be high. What are we at? Yep, that is reading about 1.0, hang on, 10, 1.125. Yeah, that's pretty high. I think I might add a little more sugar than I wanted. I was shooting for about 1.09. But that just means when we put the yeast to it tomorrow, it ought to take off to beat the bandit. Eastbound and down, y'all know what I mean? All right, so I'm going to put a lid on this, sit it in the, I gotta clean the room first. So I'm gonna put the lid on this. I'm gonna seat it in the other room with a little airlock on it. And probably y'all don't need to see, but tomorrow we'll put the yeast nutrient and pitch the yeast in it, let her run. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Welcome back to Peach Brandy Escapades.
We're peachy.
So, we let this ferment out. We did the primary, did we do the secondary fermentation, or we just did 2 weeks, right?
We just did 2 weeks.
So we just did a regular 2 week one because we don't want to outrun peach season and we want to be able to get more if we like it. So, this time I actually did something a little different.
Oh my goodness!
Us doing something different.
Why would you do that?
Normally, since our little system back here has the thump keg and that kind of counts as a distillation step. It's not really double distilling, but it's like distilling and a half. We've been kind of doing that instead of doing a stripping run and then a spirit run or a flavoring run because, well, that means you got to run everything twice and that takes time.
It takes forever.
And I don't know if you know anything about a South Korean summer, but it's 3 flaming hells in a Florida Everglade outside, and running the still all day is hot. So we actually did that this time, or I did that this time.
He did that because I was not here.
It was a long day yesterday.
Good job.
The air conditioner was struggling to keep up, and my electric bill for the month is probably going to scream at me.
Probably.
But so we ran it through again. Second time we had the thump keg added with some peach flavoring in it. And I want y'all to know that I got 1, 2, 3, and this is actually 3 jars combined at 160. 160 proof, 80% alcohol.
Woo!
Before it started to drop. So, and then it started dropping quickly because we went from 150 to 140 to 110, and then we got these little half jars that are like 80 and 70, so it started going down pretty quick. So I've already tasted them to make sure that on one end it's not all like acetone and jet fuel, and the other end so that it's not wet dog and cardboard.
Because I have a feeling jet fuel and wet dog and cardboard are not really a good mix.
Probably don't go together.
Just maybe. All right, so all I'm doing right now is putting all 160 together.
Yeah, we're going to merge this all together. Then we're going to test it to see what it measures out at. And then we're going to decide, 1, if we need to oak it, and 2, if we want to add more peach to it or not. Ooh, I hope we don't need to add a lot of water to it because we're running out of jar.
I asked you if we had a jar big enough. You said yes.
Well, to put all this in, yeah. All right, so let's...
70 is not strong enough to get your marker off. Dang, we get some 160 over here. There we go.
So on the first run I did yesterday, I had to break out, we got almost 4.5 liters on the stripping run. I had to break out some little plastic jugs we got from the Makali class. And then Chuck remembered an important lesson after the fact. Permanent marker works really well on plastic.
As it doesn't come off?
Yeah. I got so used to me wiping it off the glass, I didn't think about it.
See, he does need me, even though sometimes he thinks he doesn't. Don't you? Yeah. Don't me.
It's in selective situations.
It's in most situations. You was a strong, independent man who needs his wife around to occasionally make sure he doesn't screw anything up.
All right, so that is, what are we sitting at there? We are sitting at 140 in the jar. Wow, that's high.
That's going to be interesting. Also, I think your jar's too small.
Might be.
Might be.
I don't think we have a larger one though.
I guess I'll go look.
I don't know, she's gonna go look. All right, so we did in fact have a bigger one.
As usual, the wife can find things the husband cannot.
And I thought there was stuff already in it. I didn't look at it that close. If my guesstimational math is correct.
Oh, Lord. That's South Kakalaki math education.
Yeah. So if this is currently 140 in the jar, that should make this about 60 proof.
Jet fuel-y.
Still a little strong on the flavor. I don't think I got it quite as low as I thought.
On the flavor or on the...
Well, the burn's a little...
The burn, okay. So it was like the flavor we won't.
There is peach flavor in it. That is a definite.
Well, it would be kind of sad if you ran it twice and lost all of our peach flavor.
Well, you run things a second time sometimes to clean them up, so
I know.
that's what the stuff in the thump keg's for. Smooth, at least it's smooth. The peach doesn't seem to show up until like the really back end of it, and it just kind of pops in like, yeah, I was here all the time.
I think you're right about that. It hit me about middle, and then it was just like, hey, I was here. All right, let's do some, hand me the water. All right, we'll be back in a bit after we get this tempered down a little bit.
Yep. All right, so we have added enough water to bring it down to about 90 proof, 45%, which wound up being about 2 liters for the amount we had. Your mileage may vary, but we have added 4 cut up peaches and a toasted white oak spiral. Because last time we used the French oak spiral for the blueberry, and it was, let's just say it was very French. And now we're gonna have to fix that one because it's very strong. We've had better luck with the white oak. We're gonna try and use that to get some of the harshness, the astringency out of it. That's an actual word.
He says that like I'm not educated or something.
And the peach to obviously add more peach to it. Because peach.
Because I'd rather impart more peach flavor through actual peach than adding juice or some other thing or the extract that I make. I'd still rather add just direct peach to it to see if it helps. Also, boozy peaches.
So that is going to go in the holding cabinet for
a week to start.
At least a week to test. And then, you know, I think next time we might come back with a separate video that's just us tasting all the stuff that's in the cabinet to see how it's doing. Because we've got like 3 or 4 different things in there waiting on stuff.
That might be an update video.
Yeah, update video.
Maybe we'll have a friend over for that.
Maybe.
That could be fun. Booze up our friends.
Yeah. Anyway, so at least for this point, we're done. We haven't screwed it up yet.
We're done, and we know we want to order more peaches. So, hey, Morgan, I'll be looking you up for more peaches.
Shout out to her friend Morgan, who got us the peaches.
Our ugly peaches.
Our ugly peaches.
We'll probably order more for the next run.
Yeah. Yeah, they were really good.
They were really good, yeah.
They were really good when they got here. I don't care if they were ugly. They tasted good.
Yeah, they were good.
So, we may have to run more of this if we can get some more peaches at a good price.
I think we're going to get more peaches at a good price. I think we'll be good.
So, we'll see y'all later.
Bye.
Like, subscribe, do the internet thing. We'll see you around.